When running a sports club, there is a lot to think about, and without the right tools and people in place, it can be a lot to manage. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 common challenges that we've noticed sports clubs have from all over the world and how our software at 360 Player can help you solve them. Challenge number 1, it's hard to get paid. If your club is not collecting money from its members, you don't have a functioning organization. That's why we're putting this point first, because you need to be able to collect money efficiently in order to help your club survive and to thrive. Oftentimes what we see in clubs is that billing members is a long and manual process. It requires a lot of administrative work and time. And I know for me personally, having worked as a coach in the past, we used to collect checks and money from individual parents and players so that they could pay their sports fees on time. This is an administrative nightmare. Nobody wants to feel like a debt collector, so having a great payment solution in place can help you save a lot of time and headaches if you're a club manager. With 360 Player's payment systems, it's very easy to send invoices and automate all of your payment processes within your club. Not to mention, your club can actually save money and time because you don't have to employ as many people to handle and follow up with all those payments, especially if you're a very, very large organization. Challenge number 2, scheduling takes time. We notice with a lot of clubs that they have a hard time managing all of the different calendars, scheduling, attendance reports, and all of these types of things. And the larger a club is, the more of an administrative hassle this can be. 360 Player can help clubs solve all of their scheduling and calendar needs with multiple groups, each group's having their own calendars. The ability to send invites and automate the attendance process can really save a lot of time when it comes to scheduling. Challenge number 3 is very similar to scheduling, but also one of those core, very, very important things in a club, and that is communication. Every club has some way of communicating, whether it's sending messages, using different platforms, Facebook messaging, WhatsApp messaging, maybe they have some other third-party solution to handle their messaging. Maybe they have different group chats and they're scrolling through all the different groups in WhatsApp to get a hold of who they need to contact. Well, with 360 Player, we structure the communication in a very, very simple way because each team has its own group within the club, and each team has a team wall where coaches or administrators or club directors can send information to the entire club at once or to people within specific groups. Also, with our messaging solutions, it's very, very easy to create groups just like you would in WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or iMessage, and clubs can easily contact all of the users within their group, parents, players. Having all the communication in a very structured way just makes life so much easier for everyone. Challenge number 4 for clubs is that it's hard to share training content and methodology. Every club we see has a different way of sharing their methodology and drills inside of their club, and you'd be surprised how many professional organizations are still using pen and paper to write down their drills and share with coaches within their organization. 360 Player digitalizes everything. Each club can create all of their own resources, drills, sessions, or whatever resources they want to share within the club inside their own digital training library, which makes it very, very easy to share with other coaches or other members inside their organization. For example, a coach could create a training session with the resources provided by his club very, very easily inside the platform, and even attach it to training sessions inside the calendar so that their players and their team can see what they're going to do in training that day. Methodology is so crucial for a club to maintain a strong club identity, and especially for professional organizations that have strong aspirations of developing players throughout their academy system and eventually promoting them to higher levels and maybe even eventually the first team at some point. They want to have that consistent identity and methodology at every level so that when players are moving up the ranks, they're learning and adapting in that system. And that's why having this core methodology throughout a club is so, so important. The number 5 challenge we see at clubs is that quality assurance can be very, very difficult. It can be hard for the club leadership to see what's going on in the lower levels of the club. With 360 Player, we make this much, much easier because the club leadership can go in, if they're in a top group, they can go in and look at what's happening in all the groups underneath. Are the coaches in the club giving players goals to develop and follow up on? Are they implementing the methodology that the club leadership wants throughout the entire club? 360 Player makes it very, very easy for people to follow up. And we think this is crucial for success with sports organizations. Also, think about this scenario. A coach is coaching for a club for several years. They build up a ton of great content, exercises. They have a lot of documentation on their players, information, development goals, and all of these things. But what happens if that coach decides to leave the club? All of that information is just gone. It disappears when the coach leaves. But with 360 Player, having all of that information digitally inside the club ecosystem, even if a coach leaves, all of that information on the players and on their development stays with the club. So it's a great way to assure that your club always maintains a very high standard of quality regardless of what is happening. And the sixth and final challenge we want to mention in this video is that video and data is oftentimes very scattered throughout a club. Top tier academies and aspiring organizations will oftentimes purchase really good video analytics tools, statistics tools to gather data and insights of the teams in their club, which is great. But the problem with this is that when there's separate tools for every little piece of data, the data becomes scattered and it's tough to manage and draw insights from this data. And that's why 360 Player, being the all-in-one club platform, we've developed top tier tools for clubs to manage their statistics, their data, their video analysis, and those things are built in very organically, and combining the experience where everything is in one place makes it much easier to manage the data and draw key insights for players and teams. From the beginning, 360 Player has put a high level of focus on helping every individual, whether it's a player, a coach, or even entire teams, making sure that they are able to reach their full potential. And we believe that having all of the performance tools in one place, in the same place where the club has all of their management tools, helps keep everything more manageable and makes club life easier, simpler, and more efficient, saving time for the administrators while ensuring that everyone can reach their full potential. If you want to learn more about some of our data and performance analysis tools, check out this video right here that shows how coaches and players can use our drawing and animation tool to point out key moments and tactics and analyze what's happening in their matches. And if you want to try out 360 Player for your club, check out the links down below in the description.